Good morning, guys. Today I'm going to show you guys how to do J-channel on a window for metal siding. Normally I would be using a lift for this, but I kind of wanted to show you guys what we look like on a ladder, because obviously a lot of people are going to be doing it from a ladder. So let's get started. First thing, I'm going to go ahead and just measure the window. Obviously this would be to get the first measurement for the piece so we can cut it to the correct length, and that's looking right at 71 3/8. I'm going to go ahead and add an 1/8 inch, so we have a 16th clearance on either side, and that'll be 71 1/2. So to cut our first piece, we're going to go ahead and make a 45 on the top edge of this. Now we're not actually going to be cutting on this 45-degree line. This is just to mark out the correct height, if that makes sense. If it doesn't, you'll understand when we start to put up these pieces how it all goes together. But rather than cutting down that line, I'm actually just going to cut across at that height, maybe a little bit of an angle to give myself some more clearance when getting the piece to fit together, but certainly not at that 45-degree angle, because we want that overlap when it comes to actually putting the pieces together. What I am going to do is I'm going to cut out this back side here. That's to allow for water flow as well as splicing the pieces together. And again, it might not make a whole lot of sense now, but once I go to install this piece, it'll make a lot of sense. And this is 26 gauge steel. It's not like aluminum or something like that. So it can be tricky to work with, especially if, like me, your snips have been used for 4 months and they're dull. Definitely need to get these sharpened, but that's a task for another day. As we finish up cutting that, that's what our top is going to look like. The bottom side is going to be a bit different, however. So from the top here, this being the top of the window, we're going to hook on there and measure down 71 1/2. That was our measurement from earlier. We're going to mark 71 1/2, and on that we're going to make that second 45-degree angle. And we're actually going to do this a little bit different from the top. So firstly, I'm going to cut my piece roughly to length. And after I get this cut to length, we're going to go ahead and this time cut down that 45-degree angle that we marked previously. We're not going to cut off the tab completely. We're just going to cut the same angle on the top and bottom. That way we can bend this over. Rather than cutting it off, I'm just going to nip off these two edges, and this will actually be how we splice the two pieces together. Last step is going to be to open up this closed hem. And this is technically optional. Definitely something I recommend. And what this is going to do is allow us to slip in our next piece and splice them together, permanently locking them together. It looks very, very nice. Doesn't really affect functionality too much, but looks are everything when it comes to products like this. So now we're going to install, just get the piece lined up. Use coil roofing nails. It honestly is the best way to install metal trim. There are other options, but just don't use any screw products unless they're a flathead, like a pancake screw. Otherwise it'll cause dimples in your siding. I'm going to put this on with just a few nails for right now, leaving the bottom loose. More on that later. This other side is going to be completely identical, so let's just do that just like that. That was easy. All right, now we're ready to install the bottom piece. I actually have this pre-cut. It's the exact same as the top piece of these sides, and what we did there was cut out this back side on both edges. This is ready to install. So what I'm going to do, slip this inside the J-channel. That tab is going to lock the two together. Other things to keep in mind, make sure the 45 cut is on top of the underlap cut. And then on the back side, same deal. Make sure the top piece is on top, so that way water flows down the piece, not behind it. Once I have this side roughly where it goes, move on to this side. It can be a little tricky to get this in, which is why I left it unfastened. Pull it out a bit and slide it in there. Once you have it in properly, I'm going to actually bend over this tab, and this is what locks the two pieces together. It's a great system. And then this edge is actually going to go inside the hem there, which is why we'd open them with the razor blade. Once I have the bottom piece roughly where it goes, I like to put a nail in it. This provides you a great anchor point to actually tap the side pieces in where they go. So just a couple taps. And then on this side, same deal. I'm going to get that clipped in, fold over the tab, grab my nailer, tack the bottom, and that's complete. If the sides are good, which they are, go ahead and tack those as well. And the bottom is complete. What we're left with here is a beautiful clean look with a mitered edge and sides that cannot separate. They're physically locked together with that hem, which helps it look amazing. Now while I prepare this top piece, you guys let me know what you think of this tutorial content. Obviously it's a little different style, doing a real-time instructional rather than like voiceover or something like that. So let me know if you like it. If you do, I would love to make more of them. Obviously, if it's something that can help you guys out, that's something we love as well. So let's get this top piece prepped. We're going to cut 45s on both ends, similar to the side pieces. So J-channel in general is a lot of similar steps, just in various orders, if that makes sense. So you basically only have two ways to prepare the end of a J-channel. You have a 45 with a tab, and then you have just a square end. And knowing the proper order to do those is basically the trick to J-channel in general. Other than that, it's just practice. It's not anything crazy, but J-channel is one of those little details that makes a difference between a job that looks amazing and a job that makes you go, ew. All right, we have our last piece here. It's got the 45 cuts on both ends. We're just gonna do with this is tuck it in just like that. Kind of similar to the bottom piece. We're going to make sure that the topmost piece overlaps the sides. That way the water flows down, not behind. And we're just going to get this in. You want to get this inside the hem that we previously opened, and then you're going to just give it a little tap to seat it all the way. Once you have one side done, grab your next. And just like that, we're seated. It is spliced. We're going to tack it in. Last step is going to be to fold that tab all the way inside. It'll give us a nice tight seal. Hopefully you can get a good look of that. And just like that, we have a window that not only looks amazing, but will be watertight as well. To see more stuff like this, tutorials on how we install products on our job sites, go ahead, give us a like, follow along, watch your two favorite roofing brothers.